Have you ever laid awake at night, replaying the same moment over and over in your mind, wishing you had handled it differently, said something else, or simply walked away? You smile on the outside, but inside, you're still holding on to guilt, shame, regret. If that's you, today's episode is for you. Because here's the truth. Self-forgiveness isn't about pretending the past didn't happen. It's about deciding that you're no longer going to let it define your future. In this soul-soothing episode of the Reinvention Blueprint, I am walking you through the gentle yet powerful process of learning how to forgive yourself. Because healing doesn't start when others say you're forgiven. It begins when you believe you're worthy of starting again. Let's talk about how to let it go and rise in grace. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Reinvention Blueprint, the podcast where we explore life's do-overs, second chances, and sacred pivots. I'm your host, Coleen Webb, and today's episode comes from a place of deep vulnerability and compassion, and it was specially requested by one of you, one of our listeners. So today, we're talking about something most of us quietly struggle with, yet rarely speak aloud. How do I forgive myself? Whether it's a choice you regret, a relationship you stayed in too long, something you said, or something you didn't do, self-forgiveness can feel like the hardest step on the healing journey. But here's the truth, my friend. You are not your worst moment. Let's unpack this together. We're taught how to forgive others. We hear, let go of the anger, set them free. But no one teaches us how to extend that same grace inward. And if you're anything like me, or like the brave woman who wrote in, you've replayed those memories in your mind 1,000 times. You've whispered, I should have known better. I should have done better. But guilt that lingers too long becomes shame. And shame tells us we're not worthy of healing. Here's what I want you to know. Forgiving yourself is not denying what happened. It's saying, I see it, I own it, and I release it, because I deserve peace too. Let's walk through a simple, powerful framework I call the 3 R's of self-forgiveness. First, recognize the wound. Don't rush to bury it. Sit with it. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Ask yourself, what am I still punishing myself for? Awareness is the first doorway to grace. Second, reframe the story. Look at the version of you who made that choice. Were you tired, afraid, lonely, lacking support? Don't excuse the behavior, but understand it. Compassion says, you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. Third, release the burden. Create a ritual. Write a letter and burn it. Speak an affirmation into the mirror. I am not defined by my past. I am free to begin again. Say it until your soul starts to believe it. You may not feel ready to forgive yourself, and that's okay. But here's a little reminder from someone who's lived through hard chapters. Grace doesn't wait for perfection. Grace is the hand you extend to yourself when you're still learning, still healing, still figuring it out. You're not behind. You're not broken. You are becoming. And if God has already forgiven you, then maybe, just maybe, it's time to do the same for yourself. Let's take a moment, right here, right now. Place your hand over your heart and repeat after me. I give myself permission to heal. I choose grace over guilt. I am worthy of peace, love, and a new beginning. Take a deep breath. That's the sound of forgiveness starting to bloom. Thank you for tuning in, my beautiful friend. And thank you to the subscriber who requested this topic. You're not alone. And because of your courage, someone else listening today just felt seen. If this episode touched you, share it with someone who might need a little grace today. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the Reinvention Blueprint and leave a review. Your words matter here. Until next time, remember, your story isn't over. You get to rewrite it with love, with grace, and with power. Stay kind to yourself.